Just imagine. Yeah. No. What up? You still looking up the Siamese twin science?
I,
I was like, we've been watching that since we were kids. I'm like,
my YouTube algorithm is a mix of anime, Marvel movies, movie charts, reviews, science videos.
yeah, mine's too. And whenever I was tripping acid, kicking it with some cool people, we were talking about imagine being a Siamese twin. Your brother's gay and you're straight. You got one asshole.
Well, that's what. So I don't know if you've heard of Brittany and I forgot the other girl's name. They're conjoined twins, and they've gotten married. Well, one of the sisters is officially married. Yeah, yeah. So, of course, and now there's a rumor going around that they're pregnant. Yeah, exactly. So that's what Mama Dr. Jones, she's an OBGYN. People were just like, is that possible? Is that a thing? And she's just like, I don't know. Let's talk about it.
That's incredible.
So she's watching the video on how they're connected because she just went over the different types of conjoined twins, with in terms of where they're connected, and why that might happen, which is essentially the embryo when it splits. So if it splits very early, everybody gets all their own tools. If it splits very late, if at all, then you end up conjoined.
Oh my goodness.
The twins share one liver. They are not going into enough detail for my science brain on that. That has got to have something to do with the vagus nerve, and I don't understand why it would only be like it would make sense to me if one stomach had pain that both of them would feel it, but I'm confused about why the pain crosses sides for interpretation. I don't have time to go into the rabbit hole today, y'all, so don't let me do it. But at some point, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Reproductive and urinary anatomy is fully shared. They have one uterus, one birth canal, and one urethra. These organs function to serve the needs of both twins, though their control over these systems is shared and likely cooperative. Despite their unique anatomy, Abby and Brittany have defied the odds, living full, active lives
through cooperation and extraordinary coordination. Their story remains a testament to the adaptability of the human body and the resilience of the human spirit.
Wow, okay, that was fascinating. So, in looking at their anatomy, there's nothing in their anatomy that I saw that would make me think that it would be impossible for them to get pregnant. Now, possible and safe, two very different topics, right? So you're dealing with a very unknown thing here. Is it something that would be incredibly dangerous for them to have a pregnancy? Well, anytime somebody's pregnant, it's a stress on the circulatory and cardiac system, on all systems really, but there are major changes to how your cardiac system functions. When you're talking about a pregnancy and two cardiac systems in a somewhat shared circulatory system, this is naturally going to be not only an unknown, but inherently more dangerous than somebody who is not a conjoined twin being pregnant. But in looking at their reproductive anatomy, totally would imagine that it would be physiologically possible for them to be pregnant. Whether that would be fine and it would go perfectly well or not, no idea. I think they're relatively private people too. I don't think they tend to get in the spotlight on purpose a whole lot these days. Let's now talk about the one documented case that we know of conjoined twins in the literature ending up with a successful pregnancy. The Blazek sisters were born in 1878. Now, you have to imagine, we're lucky these days that if someone is having twins, particularly conjoined twins, most of the time we are going to know about that unless something really unusual has gone on. But can you imagine the process of delivering conjoined twins? I can't imagine vaginally delivering conjoined twins. So I'm interested to hear how that happened. So the delivery was vaginal and began simply. First, the vertex of Rosa, so the head of Rosa, presented and was followed by two pairs of fully developed legs. The torso and head of Josepha appeared next. The astonished father observed the entire delivery. He claimed to see two separate placentas attached to distinct umbilical cords for each torso. That's interesting. All was over in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes. With no family history of anomalies or twins, Blazeks were puzzled about what could have caused the girls to be concreted. First of many examinations was performed by a physician, and this is fascinating. I am shocked that the delivery went well. Oh, this is interesting. They're just describing here that there's a portion of the vulva that is shared sensory innervation, meaning they both can feel it, but that their pulses, like you can feel a pulse, here or in your foot and other places. Their pulses were distinct and separate, but coordinated between their limbs. So each twin leg and arm had the same pulse and vice versa, but not the same as each other. So they both had shared sensation of the rectum, vagina, urethra, and clitoris. Thus, when Rosa had intercourse, Josepha claimed that she also had libido. Despite the apparent common midline genitourinary innervation, sensation was separate.
He did them both.
The lateral vaginal pulse,
In a way, yeah.
labia minora, lower labia majora, and vulva. Fascinating.
Or wait, so what they set up their sex session?
Urethra, but the urge to initiate urination was independent for each sister. That's crazy.
So what, they got different bladders as well?
Well, this is a different set of sisters, so it sounds like, yeah.
I'm also not really sure. Involved vagina I need them to make a diagram of this because I am having a lot of trouble conceptualizing this anatomy.
Yeah.
Early in the pregnancy, Rosa experienced hyperemesis, but Josepha was spared. That's crazy. So one of them had nausea and vomiting, and the other one didn't. Fetal movements were first perceived by Rosa during the 5th month of pregnancy. Interestingly, Josepha continued to menstruate from her side of their shared vagina throughout Rosa's pregnancy and until approximately week 32. Why?
What? Because it looks like they each have 2 legs. So I'm confused on how they're fused. Like, it seems like they're two different people until they get to like right here at the hip, and then they split back out. Which, what?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Is their circulatory system less shared? Because you would think, probably with the independent pulses as well, they must have less of a shared circulatory system. Because if they had completely shared circulatory systems, then they would have to have sharing of enough hormones that it would stop menstruation for the other one. But there must have been only a certain amount shared that wasn't enough to actually meet the level of progesterone needed to stop menstruation when somebody is pregnant. That is utterly fascinating. Menarche occurred simultaneously for both girls 1 month before their 14th birthday. So they had their periods on the same day. Dysmenorrhea affected both sisters with discomfort referred independently to the sacrum and abdomen. Excepting two common illnesses, exanthem at age 1 and a pulmonary infection that ultimately caused her death, Rosa and Joseph got sick independently from each other. This is fascinating. I cannot understand it. So it doesn't really say if they continued to menstruate always at the same time, but the fact that they had menarche or the big first menstruation on the same day means they probably did. So there's a photo of them.
Oh yeah,
that helps with the anatomy. Okay, I
joined
understand
the
this a little bit better now. So I would imagine their circulatory systems are much less shared than the Hensel twins. So they had the baby vaginally in a position, a 3 kg baby boy, so that would be 7-ish pounds, I think. Remarkable delivery was either spontaneous and unattended or managed entirely by midwives. The infant was named Francis. Although both sisters experienced engorged breasts and could breastfeed, the baby was attended by a wet nurse for convenience because of their extensive travel schedule. He was eventually placed in an orphanage while they continued to tour. That's sad. I didn't know that. Pubic symphysis. So here's the pubic bone for Rosa.
That's the way of life, babe.
And clitoris is shared. The urethra is
What?
shared. Labia minora are fused. And labia majora have separate sensory innervations. Shared anus.
Somebody must have been on some cocaine to hit that, bro.
All of that's great. I don't think that the Hensel.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't fuck nobody, even with my cousin's dick, bro.
Anatomy and learning what they share, that in theory it would likely be possible for them to conceive, and whether or not that ended with a safe, healthy pregnancy and delivery is something I don't think anybody could completely answer. I really hope that they would.
So, bro, if there was ever aliens, I bet you the first thing a white man would do is like, yo, can we fuck it? Why would you do that, bro?
Safe and uneventful. But the literature is incredibly sparse. Like, one time ever have we documented that it has successfully occurred. So,
Bro, the way she articulated that whole process. And I'm just sitting here.
My jaw's been on in my.
I'm just sitting here like, wow.
Yeah, same. I came here.
Like, it's like it all followed, like, the way the oh my God, that literally, it's like everything was just like hitting, like every question, she just kept it flowing, and then I just like.
She's been doing this for a while, so she's gotten good at it.
Thanks for logging on to KOCO.com as well as your KOCO.
Yeah, I came to find the news, and that one was there, and I was like, what? Let's go see what this is. Because I had heard the rumor that they were pregnant, and I'm just
Thanks
like,
for logging on to KOCO.com as well as your KOCO 5 mobile app. One more really cold night. That is tonight, down into the teens for western northern Oklahoma. Down to 20 degrees here in Oklahoma City, but tomorrow the winds are going to pick up and temperatures will increase by quite a bit, especially compared to today. We're going to make a run to 52 degrees. That's 10 degrees warmer than this afternoon. It will be windy. It also will be sunny. So temperatures milder tomorrow compared to the last few days here. 50s for many of us across central and western Oklahoma. Then going into Saturday, and clouds pick up and temperatures come back down a bit here. Mid to upper 40s. So Saturday is going to be chilly but dry. And then early Sunday, we're going to see the chance for some drizzle and a very light rain-snow mix. Make a run across southern Oklahoma, but the impacts to travel for Sunday appear to be very, very low. This is not going to be a significant threat of any type of icing.
Go get help, crack.
Cause travel issues out there on Sunday. Now going next week.
and go pray. A lot of prayer.
Thunderstorms,
Because there's something wrong in you and something wrong with your family. And I mean that with all insincerity. From the bottom of my heart. My lily black heart. Mr. Crack.
Back to the tournament.
Tournament?
The Dark Tournament in Yu Yu Hakusho.
They got a new season of Castlevania.
I'm watching my 90s anime.
Your 90s anime? Jesus, yeah, sometimes I go back and I was watching Bleach, but it...
Bleach got
Dang.
so ugh.
Man,
I need
Bleach...
to start over. I don't even know what's going on. I forgot.
Man, in Bleach, I was sitting there, and it like, as a kid, it felt like I had to be up at a certain time to catch it at 11 o'clock, and we always did. We was always there to
We
catch
had
it.
to because there weren't reruns. You just had to wait for it to come back around.
Yeah, and I had to catch Max Steel at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and Mom would be like, "Why are you up?" And I'm like, "Max Steel." Nobody knows nothing about Max Steel. Look up Max Steel. That's an old action figure before G.I. Joe.
I got enough orange chicken to share. Unless
What?
you don't like orange chicken.
What are you talking about?
There's the chicken in the clear plastic container.
Mm.
Because I figured the chicken nuggets were gone. And I'm not.
Yeah.
I made rice. That was it.
You made rice?
Yeah.
Where?
And the rest of them.
Oh. Oh yeah.
That's all I'm doing today.
Thank you. See, my big sister still take care of me.
Don't show me.
All right. Well, I got your foot. Hopefully nobody sells it on the black market. But I need to go wash my hands. Mm. And God is good. All the time. Some of the time. But I don't complain, you know. I look like Mr. Rogers getting ready to. Get this step. That's sushi.
Yes, that I'm not sure.
Is that California rolls? No.
Crunchy shaggy dog?
What is that? Tempura shrimp. Is it raw? Is it completely raw?
No, it's cooked. I tend to not buy raw stuff.
Yeah, a bowl of some clean rice. Oh, Jesus. Huh? Pause.
That's
I've learned from my last fight that my body isn't meant for fighting the way you do. And all my gifted techniques can't compete with your brute strength. You must think of me as an absolute clown.
Much less now than in your earlier performance, I would say. Our patience grows short, my friend. You must tell us why you're here.
Figures your type is incapable of good conversation. Let me just get to the point.
So what?
These two items are my gifts to you.
Could Could you elaborate?
Yeah, who cares about a fancy ruler? It's a hilt, amateur. These were the starting points for 2 items I gave to my own team. The bottle Kurama contains the fruit of the previous life, handpicked from the upper realms of Spirit World. It was from just such a fruit that Yuri Urishima derived the smoke for his Idon box. And drinking that will produce the same dreamy effect of turning you into your demon form. And that one is called the Trial Sword, made from the Japanese cedar that grew to great heights by sucking up the surrounding life. Yeah, that sounds really creepy. I don't want to hold that. For Shishiwa tomorrow, it became the Banshee Shriek. But for you, it should be quite different, and probably without the demons. Allow me the pleasure of a few more words, and I'll give you a warning. This fight was the first time those darling items were used. I still can't tell you exactly how they work or what side effects they can have upon their user. So what game makes now? It's all up to you whether you want to use that help or not. Now cheery up.
Why on earth do you want to help us?
Because I dislike you, but I hate Tagore.
That's valid.
It only took 3% of his repulsive strength to make a fool out of me. I was young, hadn't realized my greatness couldn't grant me everything like it should. I went to pieces at his feet, pleading for my life.
I only kill true fighters in job assignments. You're neither, so run along.
The insult to my pride was dead enough. I spent decades refining my techniques and collecting every enchanted item that I could. I changed my appearance and even helped assemble a tournament team. But Shu easily beat me before I could reach him. And I see it wasn't meant to be. But if my own body can't beat him, then at least my items can. I want you to show him that ingenuity and sophistication can win over strength. Change his mind. Show him that underdogs can win.
What do you want?
Hey, I always surprise you.
Not in the mood for any of your stupid gags.
Yes, neither is Botan. Makes it very hard to function these days. Actually, it's a real pity. Botan is just too depressed to perform the duties that are expected of her. I'm sure if Binkai were still here, she'd call Botan a big whiny baby and give her a much-needed slap in the face.
I should have woken up right when she left the hotel. I know I could have stopped her.
How'd she pick such a moron apprentice?
Who you calling moron, pacifier, junkie?
They spent the majority of their lives consumed with each other. A young fighter and a role model, to teammates, to bitter enemies. Whatever terms they happened to be on, they were always opposite magnets on a lifelong prize course. Genkai came here knowing she would die, and Tagore came knowing he would kill her. How were you, a kid whose mother wasn't even born when this conflict began, planning to interfere with this dispute? So, you're gonna let go? Or are we just gonna stand here and do the tango?
Why did you go?
Is this the final ordeal you planned for him, Genkai? Overcoming his teacher's death?
Is that the baby boy?
Yes. It takes a lot of energy, but he can make himself a teenager, especially when.
What is he, like a fairy or something?
No, so I feel like I missed something, but so he's the son of the god who controls your afterlife. So his dad is the one, like when you die and whatever this is going, it's not Buddhism. So maybe it's Shinto, I don't know, but whatever. So Koenma's dad is the one who is responsible for deciding if you go to heaven or hell or get reborn or whatever. And Koenma's in charge of some other stuff. So apparently he's like 700 years old, or he's very old, but he's still only the size of a toddler. So, and at least for this season, he's realized, like, yes, I am still a toddler, even though I'm 700 years old, and I'm very much so in charge of a lot of things, but these humans are not going to take me seriously.
No.
If I show up as a 1.5-foot toddler it's just not happening. So he will turn himself into a teenager for a little while, but he can't hold it for very long. It's very much so like I got 5 minutes, and then like
So it's just like a quick intimidation.
right, just long enough for him to be serious and to be taken seriously, and then
Everybody's
but if
like,
he's like shocked, he quickly turns back. He goes poof and he turns back into a toddler.
oh,
And then the pacifier, I was reading up because I'm just like, why does he have a pacifier even as a teenager? Like when he's in a toddler, he has a hat that says Junior. But when he's a teenager, he just has Junior stamped on his forehead. And I'm like, so why did he ditch the pacifier or like turn it into like a nose ring or a necklace or something? And
sentimental value, man.
well, no, supposedly he is imbuing the pacifier with his own power to stave off some catastrophe that's supposed to happen in the future. Like there's a prophecy that some horrible thing is going to happen, so he's trying to like power up a tool to be able to keep that from happening. Because at some probably either the next season or the season after that, he has to use that tool too early and it doesn't work. So I don't know if he then is just like, well, I've been doing this for 600 years and it hasn't got me any, didn't do what I wanted to do at this lower level threat. So, but yeah, so he's apparently using that pacifier as a future tool. So that's why he doesn't take it out of his mouth, even when he's a teenager.
Wow.
Because then in the live action, I was like, in the live action they don't have him as a toddler. They just have him as a teenager, and he still has the pacifier. So I'm just like, why? But there is a reason. So I was like, okay.
You've done well for yourself, haven't you, Sakio? It's the usual 40 trillion to the winning over. That was reaching nicely when stacked with the 66 trillion you won from Tarukane before his untimely death.
It is a ridiculous amount of money. What are you going to use it on? You can do great things, Sakio. Well, everything the organization doesn't have already. Every mechanism is a marionette mold by the black market's invisible hands.
Now, don't crowd the man with speeches. I'm sure he knows the potential of this prize. The whole world could run. You'll need some trusty CEOs.
Actually, I have much bigger plans.
Oh, really? When did tell?
I present my master scheme. A giant tunnel connecting the living world with the demon world.
You're screwing with us.
Please use your imaginations. Do you know why a mere handful of demons escape into the living world at a time, so that one spirit detective and his friends are enough to bring them back? Cost. Portals between the worlds are too expensive. Just creating a temporary tunnel the size of a fist costs $1 million, so only small and very crafty demons can get through. But I have seen creatures the size of shopping malls roam across the demon world. What if a permanent tunnel was made so that every monster could pass at their leisure, regardless of size or strength?
It also sounds like the Netflix version of the show significantly condensed the entire plot of the series. So like he's talking about building a tunnel. First episode of the live action one I watched talked about the guy building the tunnel. Because I'm like, oh, they only did 1 season. Are they going to do more? Because there's 4 seasons of the anime. And it looks like they condensed the entire show, the entire story into 6 episodes.
You helped him through this whole thing so people like us might bet on his side to get you more money.
He got through his own. The only thing I did was murder Ruthachiri. And Tarukane too, of course.
You said
Answering our tournament for your perverse project.
you madman. I won't let you get away with this.
Too late.
stage in the game, it doesn't matter much, does it? If you have placed bets, I'll still collect. Post-mortem.
Kill that rotten bastard!
By the way, what do you think about my plan?
As usual, I think it's far too complicated. With so many variables, you never know what could push it all awry. But as for the idea, how could I not agree? I've acquired so much energy that even if I wanted to go to Demon World, there's no portal now that could carry me. Once Yusuke Urameshi dies, there'll be no one left on this side able to challenge my power. And what's the point of strength if you can't use it?
Eloquently answered as always. Care for a drink?
We've had a good arrangement, Sakyo. May the tournament finish appropriately. If you don't mind, I will take a glass of orange juice over ice.
Here's to the tournament.
You're back! I knew you weren't gone! I knew you weren't! Grandma, wait!
How long do you plan to stay out here like this? The Yusuke? Why do I deserve this? Well, anyway, Yusuke, Genkai left us a message that you might want to hear.
Are you serious? Please, what'd she say?
She said the last year of her life sucked because as a student you were such a pain in the ass, and she asked you to stay alive for a really long time so she can have some peace and quiet for once.
Mm-mm.
So in other words, Dimwit, go win that battle. Sounds just like her, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Now keep in mind, Yusuke's 14, maybe 15 at this point.
He's doing backflips and going into the demon realms and whooping them in tournaments, and then
Well, he died.
so this ain't nothing but a Tuesday to him.
Well, no, it's still on him. So he's kind of been nonstop since he died. So he died, and then spent about 6 or so weeks as a ghost trying to convince his friends and family to not cremate him, because Cohen was like, I'm going to give you a test. If you can, fill this egg up with good spirit energy, you can get back in your body. So, your body's alive, you're fine, unless they cremate you, in which case you can't help you, buddy. Yada, yada, yada. So about 6 weeks, he was dead, and then he came back, and then it's pretty much as soon as he came back from being dead, it was, we're giving you your first job, you need to go find out what's going on with, Genkai is going to pass on her super special ability, we need to make sure these bad guys don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to do that. He got selected, so he was about to be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go home. She was like, nah, bro, training starts now. So, well, no, I take it back. There was a thing. He had an assignment where he met Hiei Kurama and another guy. Third guy died. He and Kurama became his friends. Then he went off. As soon as he finished that, then he went off to Genkai's thingamabob. Got selected. Immediate 6 months training. Came back home. Had 1 day in, and then they're like, yeah, you got to go to the demon world because some monsters are coming through, and we got to stop it before they take over the world. So then he went off and did that for a couple days, and then realized he was not strong enough. Went back to Genkai. So maybe he had a couple days off. Went back to Genkai and was like, I'm here to train for real because that last fight almost killed me. So then I think it seems like he was gone for at least another 6 months. And then by the time he showed back up, it was... Did he even get to be home for longer than a second? No. Then he came, so he did the training with Genkai, came home for a second. Then they gave him another job saying, an ice ghost has been kidnapped. We gotta find her. By the way, she's Hiei's sister. Don't tell anybody because Hiei will kill you if you tell anybody that's his sister. I don't know what's going on there. So he goes and he saves Hiei's sister, and that's where he meets Toguro. And then, was it even that? Well, no, I guess he didn't go back and train with Genkai. So it was, he trained with Genkai, came home, then it was like, hey, you gotta go beat the Beast Kings. Sure, we did that for a couple days, come back home. Then it's like, hey, we got another assignment for you. It's been like 2 days. He had 2 days off. Then it was go rescue the kidnapped apparition, meets Toguro, come home, finish off that business. 2 days later, Toguro shows up like, here's 60% of my power. I expect to see you in this fight in 6 months. You better be ready. You don't have any other choice but to come. So then he goes back to Genkai. That's when he goes back to Genkai and trains with her for another 6 months. So he's probably had like 2 weeks off between being dead and then not doing a case. He's probably had like the equivalent of 2 months. 6 weeks, 6 weeks dead, 2 weeks total in between all the shenanigans.
That sounds like some bullcrap.
So he might be almost 15. And he's died once, almost died several times, gone through a lot of things and seen some horrific things. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's better than working every day and living in Japan, huh?
And then, considering, and then the one person the one adult he respects has now just died.
So what, now he's going back to the nether realms to go get him?
Well, no, because Koima just told him, like, Genkai and Toguro have had this feud for decades. They were friends, then they were teammates because they fought in the Dark Tournament 50 years ago, and Toguro was like, my prize, I want to be the strongest demon who never ages, and yada, yada, yada. And Genkai was like, my prize is y'all leave me alone. Don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't say my name. Leave me alone. And then Toguro had sent out the committee people to say, hey, I've invited Yusuke to the tournament, and he can't refuse. So, if you want to show up as well, you're invited. Because we know he's your pupil. So,
it's all good.
You don't have to come, but he's going to die.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah, he's going to die if you don't come. So, yeah, we'll see you there. Yeah, so she was the one person Yusuke genuinely respected and admired, and now she's dead. Because, yeah.
I got it.
Watch, Grandma. I got a message for you, too. It's a little sample of the energy you gave me.
Nigga, what?
My way of saying I understand. seen he can do it. Unbelievable. Yusuke could really win.
So Yusuke's final test was getting her spirit orb so he could properly produce the spirit wave, which is her signature
You
technique.
think it got all the way up to her? Yeah, I'm sure it did, Yusuke.
But in her doing that,
Yusuke is
she
taking
no
his
longer
first
had the
step in
ability to
overcoming his
defend
teacher's
herself
accident.
against
And so,
someone like Tagoro.
knowing that when the sun next rises, the climactic final round of the Dark Tournament and Team Urameshi's greatest challenge will begin.
What?
The finals.
Greetings, everyone. Koima here, sporting my totally suave teenage form. You heard correctly. The day of the final round.
Bro, I look like an airhead. Why do you look so high? Because, maybe because I am. Why aren't you?
And that one is called the Trial Sword, made from a Japanese cedar that grew to great heights by sucking up the surrounding light. For Shishiwamaru, it became the Banshee Shriek, but for you it should be quite different. And probably without the demons, this fight was the first time those items were used. Can't tell you exactly how they work or what side effects they could have upon their user.
You're not gonna blow up on me, are you? No! Enough of this sissy stuff. I'm not scared. I just have to pretend it's an extension of my arm, channel my spirit energy, and see what the heck happens. It absorbs my power, right? So whatever it makes, you replay my real strength. Whoa! Oh, no way! You're messy! Man, he's not gonna believe this! You're messy, wake up! You gotta check out my new sword! And brace yourself because you're about to get insanely jealous! He must have left. Hey, you sneaky little punk! Is that you over there? I've got something to tell you! What the heck is going on? So you forget how to walk. Someone should really put a sign up there. Something strange is going on around here. Since when did your mission become so freaking powerful? I guess his new power must be the reason he can shoot his spirit gun like a cannon.
Hey, genius, you gonna say something or just stare?
Your bad attitude's not gonna ruin my day, because I found my secret weapon. And here it is, my totally fresh bad guy slicing and dicing mega awesome super sword.
Do you think it's possible that you could shut up? Hey, Ian.
You really shouldn't sneak up on someone who's holding the world's most powerful sword. What the heck happened to your arm?
It wouldn't obey when I gave it a specific command.
man, so I decided it needed to be punished.
Okay, he's weird. Way too much information for me. Let's stick to something safe like where's Kurama?
Kuwabara, I've been standing next to you for some time now. A bit nervous, are we?
Whoa, I couldn't even feel a spirit energy. All right then, now we just need to find the old lady. Has anyone seen her?
She's not coming.
Huh?
She's not, well, she just needs some time to rest.
No one's gonna tell her.
Bring himself to tell his teammates the truth about Genkai. Somewhere deep in his heart, he held on to the hope that she would return, and he would hear her make a snide remark or give a piece of wisdom once more. Truthfully, Yusuke could not tell him, because if he did, he would then be admitting to himself that she was gone for good, and that was something he did not know how to do. However, Yusuke was not the only one who felt a tremendous weight on his shoulders. They had all gone through so many trials during the course of this tournament, as a group and individually. They had come to the realization, each in their own way, that they were approaching the final test of their will. There was nothing left to be done, no more practicing, no more second chances. They knew that this was the beginning of the end.
It's time to kick some ass.
Right.
Oh, John?
Hello.
I trust Genkai's journey to the spirit world was a safe one.
Yes, I'm sorry I'm such a mess, but this is the most difficult task I've ever had to carry out. I mean, that part of my job has never been pleasant, but it's never hurt like this.
How many times do I have to tell you? You knew Genkai would be leaving as soon as she communicated was prepared.
Marilla, but why?
How should I know? You need to face reality. This is something new, not something personal. Blame me. How did you not bring us back? We'll bring them back.
Those are facts.
Wait a minute, sir. I don't mean to interrupt, but it's wrong.
Keep your undies on. I'd love to stick around and chat with John, but I have some important business to attend to.
Well, it's practically unheard of for me.
It's been a long day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, that's fucking crazy, bro. Have y'all seen the show Black Mirror? That's some crazy shit. I'm going to bed early. 7:53. Fuck. Yeah, it's only 7:53.